years old. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Hamada, KH, and I think Leon will be on in about 10-15 minutes. Hope you guys are well. Unfortunately, got to start the show off on a sad note again, a bit like last week. Yesterday, the Hawk, Aaron Pryor, passed away at just 60 years old after a battle with heart disease. Our thoughts and condolences go out to his family and friends. Rest in peace, champ. Unfortunately, we've got to move on. You know, I don't like saying it like that. It's like the news when someone says, yep, 10 people died today and let's move on to the sports. It's one of those situations, but we have to move on. Kev, Hamada, we're just talking off air about our scorecards for the Ricky Burns Relikh fight. Who wants to go first? Let's argue, let's fight it out, because I think we differ.
Well, Hamada goes hard. Let him go first.
Hamada, go hard.
Yes, boys, what's going on?
Hamada, what was your score?
I had Relikh winning. Easy. 1-8, 116, 112, 8-4, well, however you want to put it. Relikh won the first 4 rounds. Simple for me. Burns hardly laid the glove on him. Sorry?
All 4 rounds? All four of the first rounds?
Yeah. Burns barely hit him in the first 4 rounds. He was slipping all of Burns' jabs, his right hand. He was even hitting Burns at will. He even rocked him bad at the end of the second, right at the end with like 10 seconds to go. And then Burns started to come into it because I think Relikh gassed, because in the middle rounds, around 5 to 9, but I think I gave Burns all those rounds, and Relikh, he started to gas, and in the first few rounds where he had that bouncing footwork where he was in and out, cutting off the ring on Burns, Burns was starting to find escape routes. Burns was, especially towards his left, Relikh's right, he kept finding a way out that way, you know, and all Relikh couldn't step over to the right to cut him off when Burns was trying to get out from pivoting out with his left. So he started to gas, and then somehow he found the second win, and he managed to rock Burns in the 10th. And I don't think Burns recovered, because Burns just kept getting rocked. The following round got rocked. Round 12 got rocked as well. I hear people saying that it was a questionable knockdown in the 12th. I don't think it was a knockdown, because I think the actual punch that put him over was like one of those clubbing shots that you hit the guy with the forearm, and it kind of pushes him, knocks him over.
Yeah, he cuffed the back of his head kind of with it.
Yeah, cuffed the back of his head and knocked him over. So it weren't really as if... But Burns was hurt by the uppercut there, the short uppercut.
He would have been better off not hitting him. If he didn't hit him, he might have got credit for a knockdown, because Burns might have fell. But, you know, because Burns was stumbling forward, but you can't erase the fact that the thing that brought him to the ground was like a pulling cuff shot to the back of the head. So, you know, even though he hurt him like 3 punches before, I wouldn't call that a knockdown.
Nah, I don't think it was a knockdown. But Burns was hurt, because when you see when Burns gets up, he's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, he didn't pop right up, and he did a little arguing to buy himself a little more time, like, you know.
Yeah. And then, like, the judging was just disgraceful, in my opinion, honestly. Like, 118, 110, that's just corruption. That's not bad judging. That's corruption. That's turning up to the fight with the scorecard done when you was back in the hotel. That's not... You weren't watching the fight.
Yeah, that was a disgrace, because it just didn't give Relikh any credit for some of the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
Relikh
won 2 rounds. Oh, mate. That's a disgrace, honestly. Like, that... You see this, yeah? You know what? I'm gonna rant about it afterwards. You don't speak.
But that's the shit that pulls people away from the sport, though, unfortunately.
Exactly.
It was a pretty fun fight, but when people see those type of things, it becomes WWF at that point, where it's predetermined, and they're like, why bother?
Exactly.
But Kev,
I'm gonna get to that. But let's hear what you lot have got to say about the fight.
But what was your card, Kev? How did you see the fight?
To be honest, I didn't score it the first time around. I thought it was a close fight. But then when everybody on Twitter was just destroying the scores and destroying the fight like it was a robbery, I was like, you know what? if the scorecards were closer, they probably wouldn't be saying robbery, but everybody seemed to have it like Hamada's way. So I went back and tried scoring it, but I really just hate scoring fights. It's like fucking boring, man. It takes away from like the fun of fights. So, but I went back and scored it, and I had it a draw. And there was a couple rounds where, like, I know Hamada said Burns wasn't doing anything, but oh boy, it wasn't doing too much either, except I guess making a miss. I mean, I don't know. There's a couple
Burns
rounds.
Was being so negative though. How can you give Burns them runs? Burns was on the back foot literally the whole fight. Burns was on the back foot. He was being negative. He wasn't even scrapping. He wasn't digging in any shots. He was just,
and even when he was winning
trying to throw a jab 1-2, that's all he was doing. How can you give him the rounds? And he's missing his shot.
Even like the rounds you had him winning like 5 through 9, it wasn't really like he was establishing himself too much. He would have his spots in the rounds, but it wasn't sustained long drives of, wearing a guy down and taking a guy, basically taking the guy's fight from him. So that led to the comeback late. But like you said, the rounds he won weren't impressive. Yeah,
it's like he was nicking the rounds. Burns won. Probably there was a few rounds in the middle rounds where Relikh did gas, but Burns was like nicking the rounds. Like he was dominating the round. He was just nicking them. Like, okay, yeah, you got to give that to Burns because Burns, did land some eye-catching punch. And Relikh done one thing that I always tell people here in the gym and that, don't do this. When you get hit, don't pull faces, don't put your hands up, don't do all this stuff to make the crowd and everyone know you've just been hit.
Yeah, I hate that the whole AB, the shake your head, nah.
Shaking your head like,
you ain't gonna fool 15,000 people.
Like, you don't need to do that. Doing that, you're just giving the whole arena knows you just got hit now.
And it's the same thing when you're in the gym and you see somebody throw a punch and somebody, that's how they know they got you. Okay, I know I got him. Let me put that one back in the chamber.
Relikh done that every time he got hit. Every time he got hit, he was pulling faces. He was putting his hands in the air, saying like, "Come on, like that didn't hurt," and like that's just gonna go against you, especially when you're boxing away from home. You have to be poker face. You have to act like nothing's phasing you, nothing's getting to you when you're boxing away from home. It don't make no sense.
Yeah. So you scored 11 and 12 for Relikh?
Yeah, he won the last 3 rounds. He hurt Burns in each of the last 3 rounds. He hurt him bad in all rounds.
That 11th round could have been a 10-8. He was hurting him, ragging him around the fucking ring.
But Burns didn't win the 12th round?
No,
he got dropped. He almost got dropped.
He got fucking hurt. He got dropped.
So I don't know if I'm getting confused in one of the rounds. The 10th round was when we got clubbed, right?
Was it?
And the 11th round is when he was getting his ass beat. Maybe
he got hurt. He got hurt every time.
Right. But the thing is, when you do scores and you go through them, and it's just like when you hear like a score, it's like one round. When you take one round away from one guy and give it to another, that like changes scores like 2 points. It swing. It's weird how like a fight could get from like a 116, 112 basically to a draw. It starts getting close real quick, and I don't know. Like I said, I had a tough time really scoring it, but I don't think it was that big of a robbery, to be honest, because I didn't score the first 4 for Relikh. I think I had it like fucking 2-1-1 after 4, and then I gave Burns like 3 rounds in a row. So, and then I had Relikh at the end. I don't know. So I don't know. How'd you have it, Cam? You had it a draw, or did you have it for Burns?
I had it 115, 113 to Burns, so 7-5. For me,
wow. So you probably scored the early round something like me then.
Yeah, for me, I thought
you didn't have it 4-0, did you?
No, I had it 2-0, and then I had Burns taking the third.
In the third,
up to the 9th, and then I had Relikh winning the 10th, 11th, 12th, so that makes it 7-5. I just thought, I think maybe a lot of people were just seeing Relikh's pressure as him winning, and like the first and the second and the 10th, 11th, 12th. I thought he was being aggressive, but being active and also landing on the target. Where I thought after the second, Burns started to pick his punches a bit, but Burns seemed a bit like taken back by, Relikh coming out the gate so fast, so many punches. And I agree with what Hamada said earlier, that he was doing a lot better cutting off the ring early on. He was stepping aside, and Burns just looked so uncomfortable that he couldn't find the space to hide. He couldn't find the space to actually start working. But I think after the third onwards, he started to just manage to use the right hand to counter and spin off and control the fight a bit more. My scorecards have been like ridiculously bad in some people's eyes recently, so I won't mind if people want to diss it and say I'm totally out of there, but I see it as a close fight. If people had it a draw or had Relikh nicking it, that's fine for me, but I didn't see Burns dominating and I didn't see Relikh dominating. I thought a lot of his aggression midway, especially like Hamada said, he was gassing. He wasn't cutting the ring off as much. He was throwing almost for the sake of throwing. A lot of punches weren't landing. Some were getting blocked. So I thought Ricky had the cleaner work. And I'm not a Ricky Burns fan. You guys know that. So I'm not going to, sit here and just make excuses for the home fighter. But that's how I saw the fight. Leon, how did you see it?
Oh, Relikh, easy. Easy. 8-4. He. I don't understand how he didn't dominate that fight. He every major moment was his, apart from when he hurt Relikh in the 7th, did he? With a hook. But I didn't see Burns do shit, man.
So you scored it like Hamada then, those couple of mid rounds for Burns and nothing else.
And I'll tell you now, 2 of those rounds were sympathy rounds. Honestly, I didn't see how anyone could have it anywhere close to Burns winning that fight. And Cam, you're the first non-Scot I've seen this whole weekend who's given it to Burns.
Well, my sister-in-law my sister-in-law's moved to Glasgow to study, so maybe that's the reason.
Go. Honestly, every time he got hurt, he was on his bike. He was on his bike the whole fight. And when he did stand his ground, he ended up he was some terrible clinching going on in those later rounds, wasn't there? Like desperate to get hold of him.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, like he should have been. Not once did he say anything. The ref say anything to him about that. He was running after him to get hold of him in that 11th round.
He wasn't fighting.
Ricky Burns, he can't handle the pressure, so he clinches. Like he kept doing that in the Figueroa fight as well. Like when someone's pressuring him, it's like he doesn't know how to handle the pressure. He doesn't know the little subtle moves that you need to do to, make him miss by inches and stuff. So he just feels as though, he just got a clinch. He done that numerous times against Figueroa.
Yeah, it was. I was pretty upset on Friday evening with the whole show. Really, the commentary was fucking disgusting.
Disgraceful.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get onto that.
Yeah. And I just think if you look at that and take away scoring, because I mean, that's the major flaw of the sport. It's completely objective, isn't it? Although I don't know, there should be more stringent guidelines, but I have never come across any that make it judge's life any easier. But if you look at them in that fight, there was one winner and there was one loser. And Ricky Burns did not look like a winner at any point. Maybe the middle round, but even then, that was Relikh fucking it up. He fucked up his own gas tank. It wasn't because of anything that Burns did to him. Yeah, it was bad management of the fight. Hatton said to him, after the second round, like, God, fucking, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he basically said, slow down, you're going to shoot your load here, man. You got to slow down. And then he did, and then something went very weird in those middle rounds, and then he got caught a few times. He got caught a few times, but he obviously wasn't fully gassed because he came out raging in those last 3 rounds.
Yeah. Because he's never done the rounds before, innit? Because he's got, I think they said something about the most he's ever done was 8 rounds, so he's probably never done the rounds. He came out fast, and, he probably just thought, like, either he conserved some energy in those middle rounds, or it took his toll on him, and he probably found his second win. Relikh, I was surprised with Relikh, like, he surprised me. He's a good fighter, but there's still a lot, he's still got a lot to learn, like, there's a good fighter there, but he needs to work on a lot of things, like, he kept leaping with the left hook. Every time he leapt with the left hook, Burns will see it from a mile off and he'll miss the left hook. And whenever he was like throwing the left hook while his feet were planted, or when he stepped in, then threw the left hook, he would land it.
But he
wasn't jabbing enough. And he was so ineffective in the southpaw stance. I don't understand why he kept going into the southpaw stance.
Because he wasn't in the second round with it.
And Burns kept hitting him with right hands when he was in the southpaw stance. He was missing a lot more of his punches, and he was getting hit more when he was in the southpaw stance. Because obviously, when you box southpaw, it's different because you have to slip in the opposite direction when you're in the opposite stance. So when he's in the orthodox stance, he'll slip in Burns' jabs and right hand well. But then when he went into the southpaw stance, because you have to slip in the other direction, he probably was getting a bit confused and he was getting caught with right hands too much.
But he made Burns miss a lot in those early rounds. Made him miss a lot. But it's just embarrassing again. It's because it's British boxing. B side, they treated him like he was a fucking D side. No respect from any quarter. It just felt horrible. I felt gutted for him at the end of it because he wasn't in there.
Well, that's just it, Leon.
He came to win, man. He came to win, and they fucked him. And then Eddie Hearn is in. I've heard, because I refuse to watch that Eiffel bullshit anymore. I heard him going, "Oh well, it doesn't matter. The judging's appalling, but it doesn't matter because the right man won, didn't he?" Well, don't fucking say that when your boy loses, though. That's fucking.
But then, he reports the guy that had Linares winning white.
Yeah, exactly.
Nonsense. He's a hypocrite. Anyways, forget about him. I'm not even going to talk. You see what I don't like here is the fact that this kid probably went through a 12-week training camp, worked his nuts off. He didn't come in this fight and try nick the fight and box off the back foot and use negative spoiling tactics and stuff like that. He put it all on the line. He went after Ricky Burns. He could have got knocked out if Ricky Burns was a bigger puncher or something. He came to fight. He put it all on the line. He won the fight. And then for them to score it 118, 110 and 116, 112 twice.
Yeah, it's just... And again, another typical British boxing thing. There's no chance he gets a fucking rematch. Any point.
None.
Any point. Anywhere. And
Burns is fighting Broner.
They want none of that. They're not going through that again. But Relikh Broner's a better fight than Burns Broner.
Yeah, but this fight was already basically settled before the fight started. So like you said, they gave him no chance because he had no chance.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man. Like you said, it was predetermined. These guys already had their scorecards filled out. Burns earns his line. The right guy won, didn't he? No, the right guy for your promotion for the next fight. And from what I'm hearing is if the fight with Jacobson Triple G falls apart, that they're gonna try to get Burns and Broner that date, December 10th.
Where would it be, Kev?
At the Garden.
I thought they'd have it in Cincinnati. I can't see Broner.
Yeah, but when does Heyman ever do something that makes sense and put fighters in their hometowns?
That's true.
I mean, let's go now. Battle of Ohio in Vegas. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways, listen, I just want to say one thing. You see, the Sky commentary, first of all, was terrible. Some of their scorecards were ridiculous. Like, Arthur had Burns, like, going into the 10th, he had Burns winning by, 4 rounds. Like, Fat Smig, yeah? You see him? He's a donut. Because he's been on the end of what happened to Relikh. He's been in Relikh's shoes when he went and fought Abraham the first fight.
What, you call him a donut?
And the funny thing is, I scored that fight for him. I had him beating Abraham in the first fight.
So did I.
And for him, to just stay quiet and act like nothing happened. When he's been in Relikh's shoes.
To rein his
scorecards like that have been read out.
He reined his scorecard him. He had him up. He had Relikh up, and by the end of it, he gave it to him a draw. Like, he was getting tapped on the shoulder. Boy. Fucking change your numbers round.
And even Relikh. Relikh's a donut as well. See, they weren't even kicking up a fuss. He's in the post-fight interview, him and his translator was talking about Ricky Burns was running. No, you go off. You tell him, yo, I won this fight. I want my rematch. Like, you say these kind of, it just seemed like, they knew what was going to happen. And no, this is not what was meant to happen. You see when Paulie gets into a close fight and he feels as though he's got robbed, he goes off. He says, that judge is in Al Heyman's pocket. This is a robbery. Like, that's
and
what you're meant to do.
And then he gets to deal with Al Heyman.
Relikh's acting like nothing happened. Relikh's talking about Ricky Burns ran and, you couldn't see the best of me. Like, that whole corner was a joke as well. Like, I know a lot of what Ricky Hatton was saying was getting lost in translation. Because that translator was bollocks. Anyways, he probably weren't even... In the post-fight interview, he barely knew what Relikh was saying in English. Like, he seemed like he knew very little English himself.
The translator needed a translator.
But it's just... he was horrible. And what's his name? Alex Arthur. He's horrible, but he beat Burns, so he wants Burns to look good. So that's why he did that. I mean, if you're getting if Johnny Nelson is the fucking voice of sanity on that panel, you're fucked. There's still one saying there's something up here, and he's the biggest company guy of all. We know something stinks. And they just went, I just shut him down, didn't they? And then it's just, I was shocked at some of the scorecards that were rattling around. And look, you can be as patriotic as you like, but Scottish boxing fans took a fucking massive L this weekend. Huge L. I think the only person who said it was Brian King. He knew who lost. He knew his boy lost, and he was happy to admit it. Everyone else, no. I had Burns by 2, Burns by 3. I don't know what they were seeing, man.
You know what? I feel so sorry for Relikh because, like, I train in my gym with amateur boxers. I don't train with pros or nothing. And when they lose a fight and they feel as though they got robbed and they complain about it, I just say to them, like, I mean, it's just an amateur fight. It's not a big deal. And they take it so seriously, and they think it's like it's so bad. Like, and I don't realize that. Do you know what I'm trying to? Because it's never happened to me. I've never been in that situation. Imagine your undefeated professional record fighting for the world title, like putting it all on the line, and then for them scores to come out after you've done everything you could do, like that could have changed his life. Who's going to fight Relikh now? Who's going to give Relikh a shot right now? No one. They're going to think, yo, that guy beat up Ricky Burns. Like, I ain't fighting him.
Yeah.
His life is fucked now. Whereas if he won that fight, got the world title, the world's his oyster now. He can probably go and unify. He can probably take fights. People will fight him. But now, that's it. He's going to get frozen out. He ain't getting the rematch. No one's going to fight him in the weight class. Everyone's going to look at him like, no, that guy gave Ricky Burns a tough fight. He's a good fighter. It's just disgrace. And that's what I hate the most about boxing. I swear on my life. You see Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman and what they do, how they pay fighters. I couldn't even care if fighters get paid, honestly. Just as long as the right decision is made in terms of the scoring, that's the most important thing about boxing. Whoever wins should get the win. Whoever fight, I don't even care. You see fighters don't get paid, I don't even care because it's got nothing to do with me. But you see who wins and who loses, we need to know. It's not fair like a guy loses a fight but still wins. Like when Daniel Garcia robbed people like Mauricio Herrera. Look at that. Those are life-changing victories. That could change your career, turn your career upside down. And it's getting taken away. And it happens too much. It shouldn't happen.
Hamada, at least now, like back in the day when there was no TV coverage and barely any streams or links or anything, and we just had like a record book to go on, just the paper, we wouldn't know shit. But at least now you get to see the fights. Like I told my boy when we was talking about going over to Bramer, you might get robbed, but it's like, but if everybody sees you win, at least you get credit for that and maybe get another fight. The problem is when you become too risky for the dollar amount, and it's like, well, why bother fighting him now? So it's like, in some ways you can still come out even if you lose the fight on record as the real winner, and basically still be able to move forward because we do have access where everybody did see the fight.
That's true. It's whether or not someone's willing to risk their guy, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's if you have a spirited performance and you capture the crowd and everything like that. You still have a chance to. But to your point, it's still it guts you. It's got to be gutting as a fighter. Like you said, you invest 8 to 12 weeks. Most of these guys still have jobs or they're still working. Like a lot of times, like fighters, when they get their first big break, they're able to get time off of work to fucking have to train for these fights and to put all that in, and then at the end get gutted. Like it's pretty tough, man. But the judging's hard. It's not easy. Like I fucking hate it. I'm judging on a TV. I don't like doing it. If I was live at a fight at ringside, like, cause I've had seats where I'm 2-3 rows back. Fuck, man. The last thing I want to do is score it. I just watch that shit. So I think it really comes down to, it really got to come down to paying the right people and the best guys and keeping them there where they're above reproach, because basically the only way you're getting picked is the athletic commission. The promoters are the ones paying you. So
the maddening thing is
you're indebted.
There was consistent scoring from people watching the fight all over. I know it's only Twitter; it doesn't mean anything. Well, it's the only place, because there's not many of us, and we're
it's
all
the only
spread around
place
the world.
where us fucking nut jobs are watching in boxing.
Us fucking losers are watching boxing.
Yeah,
the scoring was very consistently for Relikh. That's my frustration. It's like, so if hundreds of people are seeing it one way, and then these three guys are seeing it another, it's just like you said. It must be the live experience. That guy must have just got riled by the crowd. I don't know where he was fucking from, that bum who scored it wide. But I don't know where they dragged him from, man.
I understand what Cage is talking about. Scoring fights is difficult. I was at Brook Golovkin, and I thought Brook was beating Golovkin. But then when I got home on TV, I saw actually Golovkin was beating Brook. I know what it's like. I understand that. But 118, 110 you're not watching the fight. You've come with your scorecard. Before the fight, you came to the arena with your scorecard. That's not scoring a fight. I'm sorry, 116, 112, even for me to see Ricky Burns, no way. That's corruption. If it was 115, 113, 114, 114, and one a split decision or something like that, fair enough. But this was a unanimous. This was basically this was meant to be like a Mayweather fight, like a shutout. That's Mayweather scorecards. Disgraceful. It's a disgrace.
C.J. Ross scoring draws on Canelo Floyd. That's basically as bad as 118, 110 in this fight, man.
It kills you. It makes you wonder, why am I even watching this shit? You know what I mean? Guys getting robbed like this. Not robbed, but at least, I know what you lot are saying. It might have been, best I possibly could see Ricky Burns get is 5 rounds, or maybe a draw at a stretch. Ricky Burns didn't win that fight, but it just kills you. It makes you think, why am I watching this? When this kid blatantly got no chance. You go into some fights and you're thinking, how is he gonna win? He has to knock him out to win. That's not fair. You should be able to win a fight on points the same way you can win a fight by knocking someone out. But it just kills you, man. I swear that sometimes, just when I went in a casual spree earlier in the year, and I started building back up my love for boxing and that, but stuff like this just kills it, man. Honestly.
I was gonna say, when does basketball season start again?
Well, his super team, the Warriors, over there.
Is it just playoffs time, or do you just quit boxing at the start of the season?
No, man. Regular season is bullshit anyway. I don't really care, man.
All right.
Just playoffs next April.
So after April, we're not going to hear from you for a couple of months. Fair enough.
Nah, if there's good fights on, you hear from me. But I'm just saying,
No, I'm just busting your balls, man. Don't worry. Anyone else got any final thoughts on this fight, or do we touch on the Broner thing? Broner Burns, it's a fight that I'm not bothered about. It doesn't excite me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, if it is in the Garden, unless I get free tickets, I'm not going to be there.
You will get free tickets, man. Because
I'm sure I will.
It's free!
It's free! I got blocked by him, finally.
He blocked you?
Yeah, I was his biggest defender. Now I'm blocked.
Oh, what a cunt, man. He blocked me as well.
Are you talking about Steve Kim?
Yeah, now fuck him. Fuck him, not Steve Kim.
Leon, you bothered about Broner versus Burns?
War Broner, man.
I think this isn't going to be a fun fight, though.
I'm so anti-Matchroom now that I want them all to lose. So, War Broner, man. War Broner. And I never thought I'd say that.
If Burns fights like he did versus Rugg, it won't be a fun fight where, if he's not standing there, basically, so Broner could be flat-footed and tee off. It won't be a fun fight.
He's going to beat Burns down, he's going to stop Burns,
Yeah, it's kind of going to be like a DeMarco fight, right?
Yeah, too much variety.
Or Alex Berdiev, or whatever his name is.
When you let Broner let his hands go on you, he'll break you down. He's gonna break down Burns and stop Burns late. If he can be bothered, that is because you get AB when he's semi bothered, and he tries to pace himself, and then you get sometimes where he just feels like he's gonna just take you out. But It depends on Broner. If Broner wants to, he can stop Burns late easy. Because what's Burns? Burns can't box off the back foot. But do you see how Burns was boxing in the first couple rounds under pressure? He didn't know what to do.
It looked bad. Yeah, that's why I'm hoping he just stops and holds his ground, so we have a fun fight versus Broner.
All right, let's move on to the undercard. I presume Leon and Hamadikoy. I don't know about you, Kev. I know the British undercard.
You could presume I did not.
Dillian White versus Ian Lewis. Pretty average fight. White did alright with the jab, to be honest. Lewison was just trying to load up on the counters, trying to bang him with the big left hook or a big right hand. It wasn't the greatest fight to watch in the sense of Lewison being so overweight, man. I think he came out like 273 pounds, very overweight. Both guys are based in Brixton, and it's a Brixton rivalry, but it's on a Scottish undercard, so that just kind of shows that matchroom bit on the Heyman tip sometimes. Just put fights in different places just to fill up undercards. But yeah, I think he bust up Lewison's nose in the 9th or the 10th, and he looked quite distraught because he kept trying to spit, kind of blow out of it, blowed out the passageway. So he looked like he was finished. So it was probably a good job that his corner retired him or whatever, because I don't think he needed any more punishment. But that's all I've got to say, unless you guys have got anything to add.
I'd like to add that I've seen far, far, far better fights on the streets of Brixton than I did. I only saw much, much better fights, Hamada. Much better fights, more competitive, more dynamic, faster hands. But I only caught the last 4 because I was travelling and it looked like dog shit. So I hate heavyweight boxing.
Yep, Hamada, you see
Cam, I'm gonna tell the truth. After I watched the Burns fight, I saw the link on YouTube. I clicked on it. I watched about the first minute of the first round, and I saw that they were both in terrible shape, and I just thought, "Fuck this, man! I'm gonna turn the PS4 on."
Nah, man.
Is that where your rant came from, Hamada? Your Twitter rant about fucking heavyweights being in dog shit?
Yeah, disgusting. Lewison was in horrible shape. Like he can't go 10 rounds, 12 rounds. You being serious? He was so out of shape. I saw pictures of the way, and he didn't even take his clothes off.
Bro, listen. According to White, though, White was in shape. Like, he's been training at Loughborough University and shit, and getting in shape. For him, that was in shape.
He looked like Broner pre-camp.
Like, White was in bad shape, but Lewison was in terrible, awful shape. Like, I just couldn't watch it, man. I mean, I suppose I saw the first minute of the run, and Lewison was actually having a go, and he was throwing big right hands, but I just knew that it was just Lewison probably just thought, let me see if I can catch White early, and then I guess he didn't catch White early, and then that's it.
Only game plan.
I loved how all the commentary team were saying is it's just a 4 or 5 round fight. If it goes longer than that, then he's gonna gas. That's the only thing they had to say about the fight. That's how bad the fight was.
But look, do we think that kind of on the back of it, because the fight was shit? But let's talk about other stuff quickly. Can White punch? Not really, can he? Like a big punch.
No.
He didn't rock him and move him. So that's more worry for the other fella, isn't it?
But
Lewis was taking them.
That's fair. What was trending on Twitter was AJ's best opponent, and he hurt him, and he had him in trouble for 2 rounds. So doesn't that say a lot about AJ as well?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. It says a lot about AJ. That's my point. He thinks he can take a Vlad hook.
You know what I say, yeah? I always say, like, you judge, like, a fighter on what he does after, like, he's fought someone. So, for example, someone's win, like, for example...
Or when they get through that first somebody.
Someone like Tim Bradley. Someone like Tim Bradley, he's got loads of guys on his resume that actually later on, after he's beaten them, have gone on to achieve things. Like, every time I see, like, I hear
like White beat the shit out of Lamont Peterson.
I watched 4 rounds of the Allen fight, and I didn't even watch this fight. So every time White fights, it makes AJ look bad. Do you know what I'm trying? It makes AJ look worse. Like, the fact that he actually rocked AJ and gave AJ a tough few rounds. So yeah, man, it's just looking bad for AJ. And I mean, I didn't want to get into that Vlad bullshit because that fight's not going to happen. And Eddie Hearn, I mean, the way he's gagging the public, like, I mean,
I actually want to get into that, but maybe we can do that because I know you said you had to head off after hours, so maybe we can chat about that afterwards. But anything else regarding White versus Lewison? If not, I just want to quickly say Scotty Carl's become a beast since his last time. He's a banger now, man. He got Hooper out of there. What's going on, Leon?
Oh, he's not very good, is he? But I don't know, man. I only seen like the stoppage, and that didn't look like a great stoppage to me. My major issue is, like, aside from the fight, just other people talk about that. It's like, what is happening? What kind of nepotism is happening at Sky when you're gonna have his fucking gym mate commentate on his own on the fight? You know, Paul Smith commentating on a Cardale fight should not be happening. Not be happening.
They need to keep like separation. The problem with Sky now is there's too many like either active boxers that are commentating or guys that just recently retired, and I think there needs to be a bit of a gap because I don't want to see Smith. He's not going to say anything too negative about. He's not going to be critical about Cardle. Like, I want someone that's going to speak their mind, but we don't find that on Sky anyway. To be honest, they never really hire guys that are going to speak their mind. Only person that I remember like from back in the day was like Ian Dark. He would like kind of keep it neutral and not be a company man. But those days are long gone.
These are all buddies. They're all mates, aren't they? All of these guys. You know, Dave Caldwell, all the people that have working there. They all fucking know each other. They're probably all buying each other Christmas presents. I mean, I know this is old ground and we're going down it again, but can you hear in my voice? It's fucking depressing, man. This is beating me, man. I'm just, I can't even get angry about it. I'm just sad about it.
Leon, just don't turn to basketball, yeah? Just don't leave because we need you.
I don't like lazy.
we need the salt.
I watch men's sport, not women's sports.
All right,
netball with bouncing.
Anything else regarding the Scottish card?
That was it, wasn't it?
Oh, Joe Gallagher fighter got a win for a change.
And then didn't Joe Gallagher... I also heard that... I didn't see the post-fight, but didn't Joe Gallagher straight up duck Luke Campbell for his fighter? I heard in the interview afterwards where he's like...
what did you say?
I didn't hear it, but I just saw it in a couple of messages like, oh yeah, he just ducked him for his fighter. Like, they don't want to put that... They don't want that British title on the line against Campbell.
Carter lost to fucking Masha Dodd.
Twice?
Mash is hard though.
My dude.
Crazy. I just weakening this sport. It's weakening me.
All right, let's move on. Leon, I know you were away, so I don't know if you caught this Box Nation card.
No, I heard it was really good though. I've got it recorded. I'm gonna watch it later.
All right, I won't give too many spoilers, so I'll just quickly go through it because I don't think.
Don't worry, I know the results.
All right, I don't think Hamada's all right, so I'll just give my 2 cents. I'll start from the top. Liam Walsh versus Klimov. Andrei Klimov. Klimov was really poor for me. You know, if you didn't know boxing, you didn't know, some of the fights he's had like against Crawford and Pedraza. You'd think he was just like a journeyman that's just come over from Eastern Europe just to get a paycheck because his jab was falling short so much. His sense of range was really poor. He looked laboured. He was pushing the jab out. There was no snapping his punches and. Liam Walsh going into it is probably Klimov's like biggest name to that he's fought so far, but like in actuality, it was probably one of his easiest wins. Like I don't think Walsh really had to get out of second, third gear. Really, he had it quite comfortable. The simple punches were working so well, just the 1-2 and the pull back, lean back, and then he'll come up with a left uppercut or a left hook to the body. He did switch a few times to southpaw, going off what Pedraza did against Klimov, and I think Crawford did it against him too. But he didn't really need to because I thought he was boxing him better in orthodox, and throughout the fight he mostly did remain in orthodox. But I thought it was easy work. Last few rounds he got a nick on the eye, and he kind of took his foot off the pedal. I think I'd give one of the last rounds to Klimov, but apart from that, it was a shutout. Now I think. That was a final eliminator for the IBF, which is Pedraza, who I think last week's having issues with his promotional situation. So whether he drops that belt, moves up, and Walsh fights for the vacant, I don't know. But I think Walsh versus Pedraza would be a pretty decent fight. Pedraza's long; he can keep you at distance, but he can struggle if you get on his chest. Even Smith, like,
I rate Walsh. You know, Walsh is a good fighter, man.
He is.
I've seen him. I didn't see this fight, but I've seen him fight before. He's probably one of the most underrated fighters in Britain, I'd say, right now.
No one wants to fight him,
under the radar.
to be fair, or not many people have wanted to fight him. But do we think he beats Stephen Smith?
Definitely, I think he beat Stephen Smith.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
Yep, I would think I'd pick Walsh over Smith. But yeah, that was that fight. George Jupp, who beat Mitchell Smith last year, he had a shock. I would have said defeat, but he came out with the W. But I think he lost the fight to Jordan Ellison. He got really lucky on the cards, to be honest. I think it was the ref that scored the fight, and it was. I thought Jupp lost it quite convincingly, but it is what it is. Mitchell Smith was on it in the 8-rounder at a weight. He's getting trained by the Dark Lord now, and.
But wasn't he like nearly a welterweight?
Yeah, he's 142. But his opponent came in at 142 as well. But he's making excuses like, oh, I've been in the gym. I heard he was up like 12, 13 stone though, Leon. So to get down to that weight, that's okay. But he's a fucking featherweight, man. So to be at 142, you know, and your usual weight being like 126,
let's all just remember. Let's just cast our minds back to the moment when he said he beat Lomachenko in an interview.
I think that's what cursed him. Since he said that, his career went downhill after that.
Mug.
But
another L for West Ham. Fuck's sake.
What's going on, Leon?
I know. He's the worst. He's the worst of us. We don't want him anymore.
But I don't know. We'll see how he gets on with his new trainer, man. I don't know if he can make many changes. Adam, it seems like the type of guy that he kind of falls out with fighters, and then they'll have to go on and move on. But we'll see how it happens. What other fights went on the card? Jez Smith, Mitchell Smith was in probably the fight of the card. It was a 8-rounder against Macaulay McGowan of Manchester, fellow Mancunian. But McGowan was good, man. He was come forward, throwing a lot of punches, throwing a lot of arm punches though. He wasn't really rotating, so he wasn't really getting the power. That's why I don't think neither guy really hurt each other, apart from when Smith just caught McGowan at the top of the head in the second round and dropped him. But apart from that, and another round that I give to Smith, Jez Smith I think he's the younger brother of Mitchell Smith. I thought McGowan won it quite convincingly. It was another fight where the ref scored the fight, and it was Jeff Hines, the Jamaican dude, and he scored it a draw, which I thought was unfair on McGowan, because I thought McGowan won it quite convincingly. Apart from the round he got dropped and one more round, I thought he won everything else apart from that. That's about it, apart from one more fight. The Indian dude, Sanjeev Sahota, he was in a 4-rounder against the Journeyman, but it ended up being a really fun fight to watch, man. He came out all guns blazing, a bit too hyped up, and he just got caught on the top of the head again. Went down, and then if he wasn't, like the home fighter, if he was the away fighter, I think he would have got stopped, because his opponent Alexander kind of jumped on him, throwing a lot of punches. Sahota was trying to throw back, but he was getting caught in between. And if it was, like I said, if he wasn't the home fighter, the ref would have stopped him. But he got out the first round, managed to regroup, and came out. And he won the next 3 rounds for me, and he won it on the card. For a 4-rounder, it was quite a fun fight to watch, so definitely look out for that one, Leon. And
I'll watch it all tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's about it, to be honest. Low-key card.
I heard it was really good, though. Everyone I said it was good, and it was a proper old-school, small hall show and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the Walsh fight was a bit of a schooling, but these 2 fights, the Smith-McGowan fight and Sahota versus Alexander fight, them 2 were fun. Apart from that, some of them were like 4-rounders, 6-rounders, and that. They weren't too great, but decent to watch on a Saturday. And that's it. Quickly, I know Naota's not here to fly the flag for the small dudes. I'll just say, before the show started on YouTube, I watched the Juan Francisco Estrada fight against Raymond Tabugon, if I pronounce his name right. I think it was his first fight up at Superfly, aka Bantamweight. He looked really good. I've not seen Taboo gone before, but he's pretty outclassed him. And Estrada, man, he's just fun to watch. He's throws so many punches. He's a guy that I've never seen many people like lead with a left hook to the body, and like he just does it so frequently. And I'm a guy that loves his body punching, and he's so active. He throws so much. Even though it's one sided, it was still fun because his opponent was still trying to throw in between, and he wasn't just there, covering up and just running away. He was trying to compete with him and try and throw back. But decent scrap. But I don't know. I know. Speaking to Naoto before the fight, and he was saying that Estrada may be looking to get the Inoue fight on New Year's Eve. They usually have like on the 30th or the 31st. They have big cards in Japan, but from what I read on Box Rock yesterday, I think he's hurt his hand again, so possibly that might be out the window, and he might have to come back at some point next year. I know he's having hand issues before, so that's a shame because I think Estrada versus Inoue, that's got like fight of the year on New Year's Eve written all over it, so that would have been a good scrap, so that's a shame. And apart from that, guys, I've got nothing else to say apart from some type of news we want to discuss, but you guys got anything first?
So we, well, I guess the Boxing Bonanza was announced today, wasn't it?
Horrible name, but I think it's a decent card, personally.
It's okay. You put all your money on fucking, Murray will beat Abraham now there's not a world title on the line. You know what Murray's like, he'll get the W but no belt.
That's true. Like, if people don't know the card we're talking about, it's on Saturday 12th November in Monte Carlo, Monaco. And it's headlined by Luis Ortiz, who was recently signed to Matchroom, fighting Malik Scott, which I think is a pretty
terrible
poor fight. Yeah, because Scott is pretty poor, to be honest.
Shot.
I think Jason
after he took that dive in that Wilder fight, we should have been done with him.
And don't forget, at the weigh-in, he had that paper bag over his head, man. What was that about?
I thought he retired. Honestly thought he'd retired.
No. But yeah, and the fight I think probably one of the best ones is Jason Sosa versus Steven Smith. Sosa went over to I think it was China or Japan, and he fought Fortuna for his super featherweight title, and managed to stop him late, and he got that draw that no one really thought was a draw against Nicholas Waters. But I think him and Steven Smith would be a good fight, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What else is on there?
Jamie McDonald.
Jamie McDonald fight. It's not too bad, that, because that Solis guy, I have seen him fight. He had like a kind of fight of the year contender against Yamanaka in Japan.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on YouTube.
That could be fun as well, though.
Yeah, so I think them two...
McDonald meant to fight Warren.
Say that again?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, what happened to McDonald? Warren got ordered, I remember, like a month ago or something. I remember seeing something about that. They all meant to fight.
Didn't even go to purse bid, so I don't know what happened with that.
So, basically, someone that...
Heyman got no money left, probably.
I just don't think they enforced it. I don't think it was a duck. I just think they just went, not doing it.
Alright.
Yeah,
they probably both agreed that it was easier not to fight.
But just, Leon, what do you think's worse, like the Ortiz-Scott fight or the Abraham Murray? To me, I think the first Abraham Murray fight wasn't that great, and it's just a fight that we didn't really need.
Dreadful fight.
That's all Abraham's been fighting, pretty much, is fights nobody needs or wants.
They're up to something here. Like, it's in Monte Carlo. It's some kind of tax write-off or something. Something's going on. Some dodgy financial bullshit.
Like that. That's how they're generating the money.
They'll be able to get money, but say they made a loss, they won't have to pay taxes on some portion of cash. That's what it reeks of to me.
Yo, Kev,
that's why people go to Monaco. I mean, why else?
I've been there. I've been to that place where they fight.
What? They let you in?
What's his name? Harry Redknapp. What he used to do in Monaco. He had an offshore bank account there.
Yeah, it's all like that. But
dodgy. I'm telling you, dodginess.
They'll be paying them to have it there, won't they?
Yeah, that as well.
Site fees and all that shit.
Yeah, but Kev, just being on the outside looking in, what do you think of some of these fights?
I don't like any of them. I watched the card. Like you mentioned, old boy didn't beat Walters. He got a draw, but sometimes you get better just by going through that fight and being on that stage. So your next time, that fight might be okay. But the two, Luis Ortiz, man, a guy who had momentum. I was looking forward to him, and his career has basically been over. I mean, and now he's fighting Relikh Scott. It's like, come on, you gave him. It's like he hasn't fought for a long time, and now this is what comes. I mean, his last fight was a showcase on HBO, but at least he got the knockout, and I think he's somebody that people look at as being able to beat. You know, I don't know. I think I'm sure Joshua won't go anywhere near him. I'm sure fucking Fury or anybody's going to go nowhere near him, especially if there's no drug testing. Where I think this is why he's dodging the U.S. To be honest. So. But he's somebody I wanted to see fight, and now when he's fighting Relikh Scott, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm just done with you. Like, if you're going to fight Relikh Scott, you might as well just not fight.
Yeah, but it was put together quickly, so I'll let Hearn off this. That's probably the only guy that could get. But
yeah, short notice, and somebody's probably not going to cost any money to come out here.
So I was chatting with a guy, Matt, who's the editor of the Boxing Voice website. He has nothing to do with the show. And he asked
that's the guy with the mixed combat or something.
He's a big guy. And
we debate a lot.
Yeah, he was saying to me, "What do I think of Lewis like Hearn signing him?" And my reply is, "Well, that's the best way to keep him away from AJ. If he's in your pocket, then they have to fight each other, do they?"
Yeah.
Is it really? Do you think so?
I don't know. That's just me.
He's going to be fighting on Sky. He's going to be. The fans are going to see him. The casuals and they're going to demand that fight after a while.
He can control it, can't he? He's in full control of when and how it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at some point, the demand will be there. If they keep winning, Sky, they'll pump it up. The casuals, they'll want it. I mean,
they can start pumping in stories that they're stable mates, they're great friends and mentor. All of a sudden they've never seen each other. They never seen each other, and there'll be some type of story. Well, he came down and helped them. He's getting, there'll be some bullshit stablemate storyline.
Like Lara, that's why Lara fights no one in the 154 division, because he's friends with every cunt, isn't he?
That's why Broner was calling everybody Big Bro. Yeah. Anybody that could beat him is Big Bro.
It'll be interesting, though, if, like, for example, Ortiz, if they make Ortiz, like, I have a feeling you might be right, and, for example, after his fights, he won't call out Joshua or something like that. They might tell him, don't mention Joshua's name, mention everyone else.
I'll tell you, I've got a feeling we'll see that big Scouse Plumber fight AJ, before Christmas.
Yeah, I want to get into a lot of stuff about this. So my thoughts on the signing of Ortiz, I think, to some of your point where it's about control. Well, you can especially with him, because I was looking at the rankings before the show started, and I remember he used to have the interim WBA belt, but it's not listed as being on the line from Relikh Scott. Maybe because he's not top 15, they're not authorized it. Fair enough, but it is for some like WBA international belt. But if he's
WBA is also in the process of dropping all their like ancillary belts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because if the WBA belt becomes vacant, obviously with the Fury situation, and then Ortiz will be in line to fight, I think, whoever's next in the list. So I don't know if it was it Ustinov last time or whatever. So I think it's just a way of Hearn maybe being able to control that belt. So if he can get that belt for Ortiz will fight, I don't know, Chisora, White. He'll fight these type of guys in Europe, and then he knows he'll have a belt, and then it is maybe a possible Joshua opponent for like maybe late next year or maybe the year after. So I think he's.
Yeah.
I think
when Ortiz is on the complete downside, because he's like 50 now. So when he's like 55, they'll probably go for him.
So I think Hearn's just trying to kind of control the heavyweight division at the moment by putting pawns in place and just control who can win a title and have the defenses. Because with him having White as well, I think Chisora White and then maybe Ortiz White will be a fight in the future. Price is still hanging about there, even though he signed with the Sauerlands. I was just joking with Chemo today that Price has pulled out of his fight on the weekend. I think he was in a 6 or 8 rounder on the Tony Bellew Flores undercard, and he's gone down with the virus. And going on what Leon was saying about Price, I find it inevitable that that's going to be maybe the AJ opponent, because they're saying this fight with Vladimir is almost done and there's a few things to iron out, but we all know Hearn loves these big massive fights, and he's going to want 2-3 months of build up. So whether he delays this Manchester card, just scraps it, and looks for Vladimir in December, just before Christmas, possibly. But I think it's even more than that. I think Hearn would want like a 3-4 month build-up. He even says it, media tours, go to Germany, have a media tour there, behind the ropes, behind all these whatever shows they're named. I think that's what Hearn's main progress is, and for him, for Joshua to be fighting Vladimir, he's definitely wants that in place just to secure the money for pay-per-view. He's going to want to build it as much as possible, so I don't see Vladimir fighting AJ this year.
But the other thing is, Vlad doesn't care about fighting AJ. He wants to fight for the belts. So unless there's enough belts available for that fight, I don't see why Vlad would even bother stepping in the ring for it. Because look, isn't Parker fighting
Andy Ruiz?
Andy Ruiz. What belt's that for? Is it for a belt now or something?
Apparently it's not set, but they're saying WBO.
WBO. So that leaves only one other belt. What's the other belt?
WBC Wilder.
And then what's the other? I get WBA.
Yeah, Ortiz is interim champ, so maybe that's a signing to the reason he's got Ortiz, so Ortiz can maybe fight Vladimir for that title,
or make him step aside so that that belt is available for that fight.
Exactly. What about Ortiz Wilder? Is that possible now? You think that because Hearn works with both sides pretty much, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I pick Ortiz over Wilder.
I don't know, because I think isn't Stavern fighting Povetkin, and whoever wins that gets Wilder when he's back from injury.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot going on. There's a court case in February that might kibosh a lot of that based on the whole meldonium shit. So WBC released a statement basically clarifying they never really cleared old boy. I mean, that's up in the air.
And we all said it'd be better when Vlad lost. Will more fool us.
Yeah.
But what do we know?
This fight's not happening, man. Joshua Klitschko is not happening. It's a bunch of bollocks.
Well, they already said that.
In the public.
Yeah, what's his name? I know you guys probably don't listen to Paulie's podcast. He said Hearn told him already that when he was over there doing commentary that fight ain't happening in December. So that's done. If the earliest it'll happen would be in the summer, of next year. So it's definitely not happening for at least a fight or two.
This is what Hearn does, though. He's just gagging the public, trying to build interest, trying to see. The worst thing is, if the fight don't happen, which I think is not going to happen, the backlash is going to be ridiculous. They're going to be like, "Oh, you went from saying Klitschko to David Price." I mean, it's just going to be, it's going to end up becoming bad publicity for Joshua and Hearn and I.
They don't care, Amada. This is what.
Why don't they just keep quiet?
All the time. He'll show you a steak. He'll show you a steak, and then he'll buy you a fucking hot dog.
No, Hamada. I know. Hamada, I know how he may get out of it. He might say, "Oh, we couldn't make the deal for November, December, but the Vlad fight is set for March or April, and AJ will just have a keep busy fight in November or December." I think that's the way he'll play the game.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon with the carrot on the end of the stick.
Exactly.
That's leading the fucking just keeps it out there it's coming though. We got it. It's coming. That's all he said.
Because the thing is, if he's saying if Hearn's saying, "Oh, there's like a 50, 60, 70% of it happening," and it happens, but in March, then he's still telling the truth in his eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what the biggest thing is that's not gonna stop this fight? It's the fact that how is Joshua gonna get sanctioned to fight for another belt? Do you get what I'm trying to say? It can't work if the sanction bodies stick to what their principles, which they very rarely do. If they strip Fury, 1 and 2 should fight for that title. How is Joshua, who's another champion, gonna end up fighting for the belt? It can't. So, and Vladimir's not gonna fight
because there's something that as a voluntary defense. Is he gonna come over to clause the UK that a super champ outweighs the thing?
Is he gonna come over to the UK as the B side and come fight Joshua for his belt? Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's not gonna do that when he can sit out and wait for Fury next year and fight for all the belts again.
It's money.
Yeah. There's always ways around it.
Is there enough money though?
There's enough.
Of course, there's enough money. That's a huge money thing.
There's enough money in AJ. From the sanctioning fees side, they're thinking what they want. They want AJ to have all the belts.
Sure. AJ's the second biggest star in the sport probably right now. After Canelo, AJ's probably the second biggest guy in the sport.
We'll come to arguing about Canelo being famous because no one gives a fuck or shit about who he is anywhere around the planet other than America. No cunt knows him over here. No one.
No one over here knows AJ either, but sport's regional. It's not.
No. But if you wanted to make an argument, though, I'd say that Joshua more play over like in Asia and the Middle East and stuff like that, as opposed to Canelo.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about just worldwide,
he's a no mark.
All right, as you noticed, Naota jumped on the line. What's happening, Naota?
Yo, what up?
Naota, we're just talking about Hearn signing Ortiz and this boxing bonanza card in Monte Carlo. Just give us your thoughts, and then we'll just get your thoughts regarding Burns and the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole. Well, do you want me to start with Ortiz or?
Yeah, just while we're on that subject, just to finish out.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. What do you know? Is the whole card all put together? Because I haven't had a chance to look at exactly what was going to be on it.
Yep. So the card on 12th November is Luis Ortiz versus Malik Scott, Jason Sosa versus Stephen Smith with his WBA belt that he won in against Fortuna on the line. Arthur Abraham versus Martin Murray rematch, and Jamie McDonnell versus Libio Solis, who fought Yamanaka this year.
Oh wow, yeah. No, that's a solid card, man. That's a real solid card. I like that. You know, it's I wish we'd have more like that. You know, where it's like at least championship level or near championship level fighters, you know, facing off against each other. You know, it's a solid card. I mean, of course, Ortiz is going to be favored to beat Malik Scott, but then again, at the same time, you know, he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place by and large. You know, it's like the very best guys are too big of a name to want to fight him with regards to the risk versus reward thing, and then the lesser named guys aren't necessarily in line to fight him either, necessarily because of the fact that they're trying to rally up to fight the bigger names just like he is. So the nice thing, though, is now that he's with a promoter that can get him regular fights, it seems, and hopefully we see a bit more of him. And, you know, hopefully after Malik Scott we can see a bit more of him because, you know, assumingly he beats Malik Scott, and I'm sure that he will, because he definitely hasn't shown any signs of slowing down at all. So,
well, you can
go down.
I pick Ortiz over everybody right now. I think Ortiz beats everybody in the division.
Well, you could.
I don't think so. I think the very best guys beat him.
And you could knock Scott out without hitting him, so that's easy.
Just give him a wink. Just give him a wink.
Exactly. Go down, boy, now.
Nah, but I mean, Ortiz is really good, but I still see some major flaws with him. But so I actually don't think that he's gonna make it at the very, very elite level. But I think just about everybody else is gonna blast out.
What elite heavyweights?
I think Wilder beats him. I think Joshua beats him. I think Fury beats him.
I think he beats Wilder.
I don't.
And none of them are, well, yeah, they're not that elite.
But I mean, the other fights on there are really good too. It's nice to see Sosa back in action, in spite of the fact that I wish it would have been him versus Corrales to finally get rid of that WBA BS. But Corrales, I know, was fighting Uchiyama on New Year's, so he owed him a rematch. So Sosa has to fight Smith instead. Still a solid fight. And then, you know, Abraham Murray is a good fight, I think. You know, pretty much similar styles between those two. So it'll be interesting to see how many punches actually get thrown in the fight. Although Murray's a bit more of a workhorse compared to Abraham. Abraham's a lot more one at a time. And then McDonnell versus Solis actually could steal the show. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight between those two. McDonnell's an action fighter. He's a really good boxer. And Solis is a solid guy himself, too. So I like that whole card. Really solid card.
Cam, what does McDonnell have to do to get a fight in this country?
I don't know. He just seems like a road warrior at the moment.
Unbelievable. The best, possibly one of our best fighters.
He needs to throw on the shoulder pads with the spikes and all that. The road warrior.
You know why, though, Leon? You can't sell a ticket. That's why.
You don't know until you fucking try.
Well, there's a reason they ain't trying, man. You can do it.
That's true. Honestly, I think he's the best fighter in the UK, just boxing skill wise. Yeah. I think he's the best. Period.
He's got the best wins. He's got the best wins, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's probably the most accomplished, but maybe not the best in terms of talent. But Nelson, I read earlier today, you know that guy you go on about a lot that you say is Lomachenko's ducking?
Who are you talking about, Burchell?
Yeah, he's fighting the gay guy, man.
Yeah, because
he's gonna put a whipping on that gay boy.
He's gonna probably knock him out cold, man. Because Burchell can hit. He can really punch, man. This Cruz is gonna get hurt in that fight.
I feel sorry for him, man. Hopefully he knocks him straight.
All right. Before Hamada does any more gay jokes, let's move on. Naoto Burns fight.
Yeah.
What did you think, and how did you score it?
Oh yeah, Burns and Kiro Relikh. I had it a draw personally. I thought if anybody should have won though, it should have been Relikh. I thought that he didn't get counted for a knockdown in that last round. But the one major problem with Relikh is the fact that he kind of slowed down in the mid rounds. He got a little bit too
He gassed himself, didn't he?
Well, yeah, I'd say that probably had to do with it. But like, I just think stylistically he got a little too predictable. He wasn't moving around as much. He was coming a little bit straight on. And I think that's where Burns was able to catch him, because he wasn't varying up the foot movement and the torso movement. It was just kind of torso and head movement at that point without the foot movement. So it's like every time that he would go back and center in the center point with his body, that's when Burns would catch him, and then Burns would kind of scoot off to the side and make him reset again. But once Relikh realized that it was the entirety of the movement that was bothering Burns early on and got back to it in the championship rounds, I thought he dominated those just like he dominated pretty much like the first, I'd say, 2.5 rounds of that fight. And yeah, I mean, honestly, those scorecards were garbage, and I thought that Relikh probably should have won that fight if anything. But that's what happens sometimes when you go over to Scotland and fight Ricky Burns. I mean, we saw it with Chelo Gonzalez, we saw it with Ray Beltran, with regards to the scorecards, and if Broner's next, I think at 140, if Broner's able to actually make the weight and everything, that you have to see an in shape Broner at that weight.
Well, that's the thing though. They'll just adjust the scale so he comes in at 140. like they did versus. It was funny. I was in the gym with the cut man for Duddy versus Chavez. They said your boy got off the scale fast as hell. That shit. And then one of the undercard dudes weighed in like 6 pounds under. They're like, what the fuck? How 6 pounds under? That scale was adjusted. That's what they're gonna have to do for Broner. Ain't no way he's making 140, bro.
Yeah. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is if Broner shows up looking like he did versus Emmanuel Taylor, I think we have a bit of a fight on our hands. Even though I still favor Broner to win it, but if he shows up the way he did against Khabib Alikberdiev, I think that he's gonna wash. Well, maybe not wash Burns, but I think he'll win it pretty conclusively.
Yeah, that's funny you said that, because that's exactly what the name I said, Alikberdiev. That'd be that type of performance. I think that would be that type of fight right now.
Yeah, it's funny. Naoto said exactly what I said. I said if Broner can be bothered, he'd stop Burns late. Or if he's not bothered and he has a bad camp and he's fat and he can't be bothered and he's lazy and he's got no work rate, then it's just gonna probably be a decision or something.
He's the only dude that comes out of prison looking like he was eating good. He has a big ass fucking stomach. Everybody else be coming out of prison lean as hell, looking like Buff Bagwell. Your boy came out looking fucking soft. I was like, what the fuck? Feeding good on that commissary.
Naoto, did you catch the Liam Walsh versus Andre Klima fight?
You know what? I didn't. I need to go back and check that one out.
Yo, Naoto, that's the first time I ever hear you never watched the fight.
I know. That's amazing.
I miss some here and there. And sometimes, just the...
I bet you watch some, like, Filipino strawweight make his debut or something, innit?
Yeah, some sing-sarong.
Nah, but I did. I did get a chance to see Estrada though. I think I told you guys about that. I linked you to it and everything.
Yeah. I saw that link. I mentioned my thoughts earlier. What did you think?
I thought he looked solid. I thought he pretty much toyed with the guy, Tabugan. He beat him pretty easy. Kept pretty much Tabugan to land in single digits every round. Although they said that I guess he hurt his right hand, which maybe was why he didn't get the stoppage. I thought he was just kind of in cruise control. But yeah, hopefully it'll be okay for him to fight again at the end of the year, because that's what the whole plan was. He was calling out Quadras and Inoue. He wanted to get either a WBC mandated final eliminator with Quadras to become the mandatory for Gonzalez, or to fight Inoue for his WBO super flyweight belt, and basically corner. He's trying to corner the market in Chocolatito, essentially. Trying to get rid of all of his other possible rivals and make it known that he's the man that Gonzalez has to fight. In order to really get all of the props of being the man at the lower weights and all that good stuff. So I'm hoping that his hand isn't too bad. It's just one of those like bruise type deals. But I do know that after Tyson Marquez, though, the way that his hand was, like the scar tissue was literally right on his knuckles. So it's not like it's any kind of piece of his hand where it's like, oh, it's something on the side. It's literally right on the knuckles. So hopefully that didn't get hurt too bad. But otherwise, I mean, I thought he looked fantastic. He looked like James Toney in that he was just kind of bobbing, slipping, and just countering and punishing the hell out of the guy. And I think that as long as he looks that sharp against any of the three aforementioned names, I think he has a live chance against any of them. More than a live chance.
Yeah, what I was saying to the other guys earlier, he's like the only guy I know that would lead with a left hook to the body, man. He just he digs that left hook so well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's really smooth with it. You could tell that he's just the natural ability that he has, and just the amount of times he's probably trained on just working different combinations. He strings them together as good as anybody. Just as good as Chocolatito does. Albeit from a different kind of a stance. Gonzalez tends to be a little bit more aggressive, whereas Estrada tends to be a little bit more smooth and kind of upright with the way he kind of leans into his shots. But yeah, the way he's able to string together the combos is really a thing of beauty. It's very smooth, very slick, and it's fluid. It's a lot of fluidity in his game, more so than the other three, I think.
Thank you, Neil. Daniel Lim has jumped on the line. Are you there, Daniel? Daniel. All right. Hope Daniel sort out his audio. But any other news you guys want to talk about before we preview next week?
What else has been happening? I don't know.
Groves fight's been announced. I know Shams is talking about it in the chat. He's fighting that necked guy who's fought Bramer twice and apparently had a amateur win over Triple G.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good, does it? He's dragging him down as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's 175 to 168. It's on Channel 5 though, so that's pretty good for us in the UK.
When's that back?
December-ish, something like that.
I had it up here. I'm trying to find it. I can't remember. I'll find it. You guys talk amongst yourself for a second.
Can BJ Flores punch?
BJ Flores can't do shit.
Because if he could punch,
we know he can't cut off the ring. That's one thing we do know.
Bellew can't take a punch at cruiserweight. He can't take a shot. Leon.
Yeah.
Bellew can't take a shot at cruiserweight. That Brudov guy rocked him, and this fucking Makabu dropped him. Bellew's hiding glass at cruiserweight. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, for honestly, from what I remember of Flores, especially in his earlier fights before he became primarily a fucking announcer, then a boxer second. He has fairly heavy hands. He's not the hardest puncher on the block, but he can crack a bit. So that could be troublesome. Yeah, but
Bellew's shaky, man.
Yeah, I think the overall skill set isn't there, but I think he could potentially hurt Bellew.
Fucking hell, man! He lost to Shumanov, man.
I know. That's what I was doing. That's what got me blocked by even with
Shumanov lost to Hopkins, and not even. It was an old Hopkins, and Hopkins 12-0'd him. He won every round.
Hopkins was toying with him like he was doing Marat, fucking clowning him.
Exactly. If you gave Hopkins a bit of a tough fight, won about four or five rounds, and yeah, but Hopkins won every round. He even dropped him. Fucking hell, mate. Hopkins nearly got a knockout that fight.
Yo, this dude didn't even show up with a trainer, son. Come on.
He built his own gym.
He lost to that guy. Flores is garbage, man.
Oh my god, how is this dude a commentator, baby? Come on.
It's a joke of a fight, man. Fucking joke of a fight. But what do we expect from Bellew, man? He's a fucking joke. End of story, man.
Well, didn't we say that he was going to have to fight good guys because everybody else in the cruiserweight division is doing that?
Yeah, but that's why he
never said that.
Flores.
He proved us wrong.
Because you know what it is? It's so stacked.
He's the biggest name in the division, probably. In terms of name value. So
and everybody else,
on the A side.
Everybody in the division's fighting each other. All the top guys fucking giving us good wars, and then we got fucking Bellew fighting Flores, fighting
It's
fucking
because that's
blowjob
the
Flores.
The division's stacked, so obviously he's looking for easy pickings. Obviously, he's not going to look to fight one of the killers.
All the top 5, top 10 guys probably wash Bellew, really, like real talk. You know, Usyk does, Lebedev,
They're all too much for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shumanov would probably beat his ass too.
Like who has he fought at fucking cruiserweight? He fought fucking Cleverly, right? He fought fucking the one time for the belt. Now fucking Shumanov. Like, who's this guy? Oh man,
no, BJ. He's fighting BJ.
Blowjob.
The worst thing is his mandatory Marius Bradis is on the undercard, so I don't know if that's an attempt of Hearn trying to build up their upcoming fight, but he's in a 10-rounder against a guy who's in 9-0, and Bradis is 20-0, so maybe we'll see some antics, a la Cleverly versus Bellew when they had their WWE kind of dramatics at the side of the ring, so who knows.
Now Bellew's probably going to vacate and fight Hay.
He can't vacate, man. He said it was his dream to become a world champion. You can't just step aside and fight Hay, man. That's some bullshit.
Well, he became a world champion, and now then he could vacate and not be one anymore.
That's true. I don't know.
It's not like they take the belt away from you, they mail that shit to you, and they put it on the wall.
Can I ask a question of the Americans on this call now? Just quickly.
Yeah.
Can you name five other U.S. cruiserweights?
I don't think there is 5 U.S. cruiserweights. They all have Russian names. They all have fucking names that end in like Z's and X's.
Steve Cunningham.
Well, yeah, go on. Let's see if that's on my list. Yeah, that's one.
Did Cunningham retire?
BJ Flores.
No. My point is, BoxRec says he's the 6th
TMT guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Tabiti.
Yeah, Tabiti. That's two.
Tabiti just beat Keith something. The motherfucker that was the dude that was shadow boxing in front of me at the fucking Spence fight.
The guy. I remember him. Yeah, you tell me about that story.
There's Hot Rod. There's a Michael Hunter.
No, Hot Rod's a light heavyweight.
Oh, okay. BoxRec's got it wrong. Yeah. Basically, BoxRec has BJ Flores down as the 6th best cruiserweight in America.
Could be. There is none.
That's a fucking. That's
cruiserweight.
Who do they have rated ahead of him?
Michael Hunter, Brian Howard, Tabiti, Hot Rod, and Steve Cunningham. He is. I mean, it's one of the worst cherry picks ever. It's shocking.
We don't even cruiserweight division in this country has always been a death knell. If you're big enough to be a cruiserweight, you muscle up to be a heavyweight, or you fucking shrink down to be light heavyweight. Like you hear, like even guys like Michael Moore, they just skip right over that. They go from light heavyweight straight to heavyweight.
James Toney, pretty much. He had that one fight, and that part was probably his best too. Like, when he whooped Girov's ass, and then he was like, "Fuck that!"
Like, fuck right up to heavyweight. Yeah,
Burger King.
Yo, and fuck Don King. Yo, but this dude this is such an awful fight. Like, I've never even heard of Flores being good at all. You usually hear people talk man, I remember him a couple years ago. He had something going for him, and then all of a sudden it just fell off. I've never even heard that about this guy. I just assumed he was an amateur fighter that got hurt in the amateurs and he became a commentator. I never even knew he had a pro career until 3 years ago.
Now, before he became a commentator and all that crap, I thought that he was looking like an okay prospect, but nothing where it was really wow, this guy is the next, he's the next man, he's the next guy to really bring it home for the cruiserweight. It's like Michael Moore or some shit. He
lost to Danny.
He was pretty good, but yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck,
that says a lot right there.
That's a shocker, man.
Yeah,
but the Campbell Derry Matthews fight could be good if Les Matthews is shot to shit, which is a chance he might be.
Yeah, Derry.
That's a good division too. So if Campbell shows out, that's a good win, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Campbell,
that's something to get excited about for the next fight. So it's not totally lost. If he has a good performance, it's something to get. it's something to get hyped up for moving forward. Because there's one. I was talking about that division the other day. There's like 8 or 9 good fights that could be made in that division.
Yeah, it's become one of the strongest ones all of a sudden, hasn't it?
Yeah,
not but the best quality, but competitive wise, it's competitive.
Up and down the top 10. It's not one of those. There's like 3 or 4 dominant guys. There's 10 solid guys that can fight.
Yeah, lightweight. Yeah, that's real jam packed.
I think
you can mix and match any of the top 10, and it's going to be a great fight, probably.
I think Campbell should be able to do pretty good against Derry. If Campbell beats Derry more convincingly than Flanagan, because I thought Flanagan struggled a bit. That's a good win if he beats him quite convincingly. Like Shams 1000 says in the chat, though, he needs to get that Mendy rematch and get his soul back a bit. But I think he will beat Derry quite easy. I don't think it's going to be a difficult fight for him, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't know. It would be interesting because he's been dropped a bit, hasn't he, Campbell? And that's one thing that we all know Derry can punch. He's got world-class power, Derry, that division. It's just everything else, right?
He is not very technical either, man. Yeah. He's there to be hit, too. I mean, I guess he's a little wide. Maybe somebody, because he can hit, that his technique fell off or his fundamentals weren't there in the beginning because he could always rely on that power, but at this level, that really gets exposed in almost every fight in the top level, and I think it's going to get exposed here.
Yep.
And apart from that, I think Ryan Burnett versus Ryan Fragg's on the undercard. Adam Booth trained fighter, and Sean Masha Dodd's on there as well to sell some tickets. But
yep.
And like I said earlier, Brady's Belgium's mandatories on the undercard. So I did read David Price has pulled out due to virus, so I don't know. He's off it, but he was only in the 8-rounder anyway, and who really cares at the moment with what Price is doing?
I thought that Liverpool's the Smith Brothers City. I thought they were the big ticket sellers in that town, and not one of them's on this card. They don't sell shit, do they? Let's be real. If they move something, at least one of them will be on there.
Yeah, if they move the meter, right? They'd be
one of them will be on there in their home camp. They would fucking bang on about.
Put your token Smith brother on there.
Exactly. Nope.
No, but who have they got really? Like Liam's over there on the other side. Stephen's fighting soon. No one wants to see Paul Smith Jr. fight because he's just fucking fat and horrible. And Callum just fought recently, and he's
yeah. No. I'm just saying that you would think a big Liverpool card they would have planned it. One of them be on there, but Rocky Fielding's on there, so it's all right.
Rocky from Stocky, no worries.
Rocky from Stocky.
Yep. All right. Quickly, let me just give a shout to all the people that turned up today, even though boxing's been quiet in October. Mr. Dermo, Kevlar, Mongol Slade, BRD Hate, Shams 1000, Nothing for Something, Overbruff, Nunez 83, Jas, Die Hard Casual Fan, Black Ski Mask Joe's creeping in there, JSB the A-side, Jason 268 PM versus and 12 guests. Next week as well, there's a card in Denmark. Liam Wash's brother, Ryan Wash, is on there fighting for the vacant EBU title. And I think that's about it for next week. I don't know if there's anything in Mexico, Neota, or anything else going on in the States, but it's pretty quiet next week.
Pedro Guevara, the former 108 champion, he was supposed to be fighting Ganigan Lopez in a rematch, which would have been a great fight because Lopez is the champion. That's the one where Guevara beat Lopez, Guevara beat Kimura for the WBC title, and then Kimura lost to Lopez. So, and I know you remember that, even if I'm not refreshing your memory right now because I know you saw the fights. I remember you recapping them from before. But Guevara is going to be fighting Jerry Tomogdan in Mexico, just a kind of a late replacement essentially to keep the fight card on as opposed to canceling it altogether because Lopez got injured towards the end of his camp. So it'll be solid to see him again because Guevara is actually another really good fighter, just a guy that's overall really, really well skilled, and just another top fighter really that if they chose to shine a little bit more light on the lighter divisions, I think that he would be a much bigger star than he is. Although he does bring a pretty good following down in Mexico, which is solid. And then on a different card in Mexico, I know is the return of Tomoki Kameda finally. He's going to be fighting Cecilio Santos. I'm not sure if it's an eliminator. Matter of fact, let me check. But it's on it's the co-feature for a Jorge Paez Jr. card. So that should bring some pretty good fanfare, and it'll be nice to see Kameda finally back in the ring again. Perhaps he can get a title shot fairly soon. Because, even to this day, I still think that those two McDonald fights, either of them could have went to him, especially the first one. So I think he's definitely one of the top bantamweights in the world, and I'd pick him over, most of the guys bantamweight, including the very top guys. I think that he would take out Warren. I think he'd take out Tapales. And, he's definitely still one of the very best fighters at the weight class.
Thank you, Neil. And just quickly, even though I said next week's quite quiet, the week after is quite busy in the UK anyway. On Friday, there's a Cyclone Promotions card in Edinburgh. Josh Taylor versus Dave Ryan for the vacant Commonwealth. And I think that'll be a really good scrap.
Channel 5?
Yep, yeah, like you said, Leon, that's picked up by Channel 5. Andrew Selby's on the undercard, and that's on the Friday. And on the Saturday, we got Sky and Box Nation competing against each other. Box Nation got that card in Cardiff. Liam Smith versus Amit Patterson. Billy Joe's on there against the guy that looks like Wolverine. Bradley Skeet's on there. Longford's on there. Most of his main...
His stable, yeah.
Yeah, his main stable are on there. And at the same time, Sky have got a card on in Birmingham. Sam Eggington versus Frankie Gavin. And it's weird, Leon, I don't know about you, but this fight was more interesting before Eggington got schooled by Skeet, and now it's a fight that no one's really bothered about.
War Eggington, I'm a fan, but no, it doesn't really mean much, but for some reason I'm still interested in that fight. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me.
The worst thing is, I just think he'll get schooled by Gavin, because Gavin's he's quite slick.
I wanted to spark Gavin so much. But,
I do as well, but I think Gavin kind of schools him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'm not going to back Eggington again because I took a massive L in that Skeet fight, so I don't know if I can handle any more losses like that.
We both did, man. We had egg on our face.
That was ugly.
Yeah.
I got hounded on Twitter for days for that shit, man.
All right, Kev, I spoke to you off air. You said you had some updates with Triple G Jacobs. Anything juicy?
No, nothing juicy. It's the same shit. Jacobs, I guess, said he wanted a number, which is around $5 million. Of course, he would have settled for a lot less, but then he said the number was 4. He kept going down because the number that started was so low. But basically, $3 million will probably get it done. But basically, Triple G's team ain't coming up from 1.5 to 2. And they basically want to go to purse bid because they know they have 75% if it goes to purse bid. So it's weird. There's little things like having it at Barclays instead of MSG. They wouldn't even consider. Meanwhile, MSG charges 10 times as much rent. It's crazy. So it's if you can make $500,000 extra to the fighters' purses by just having the fight one town over, why wouldn't you do it or consider it? So there was really no negotiating going on. It's going to fall apart, and the fight's not going to happen.
Oh, but I thought Daniel Jacobs was a pussy and a chicken and a bitch, though.
Yeah, it's going to go to purse bid, and Jacobs' team ain't going to win it, and they're going to just drop the belt and leave because they're going to say, yeah. Well, it's not. Well, you can say it's their fault, but then they could fight in March and make the same amount of money that they were going to make in December. So that's probably what they're going to do.
I thought it was about him being a champion. That's what he said. I thought he said he wanted to fight. If it's purse bids, let's see if your promoter thinks you're worth the $5 million that you think you're worth. I bet you.
That has nothing to do with a purse bid because if he wants to pay him his 5 with the way 75-25's made out, then they got to put up 15.
Go on then.
So they're not going to put up 20. Bottom line, the fight's going to generate enough money where he can make $3 million without a purse bid. So. Just because I guess HBO's budget, they don't want to pay a certain, I don't know. But so he'll just fight whoever in March for the same amount of money that he'll have here. And that's pretty much it. But so I'm very doubtful that a fight will happen.
I like purse bids. Purse bids reveal the duck.
You can say that if you want, but if
they do, man.
If it's 75%, 25% split, then think about it.
He's the champ. Look,
Who's
Kev,
gonna pay
I know
for
you're
it?
your boy.
Well, I mean, if it's 75-25 and it's a $4 million purse bid, then what?
Then Danny Jacobs gets what? Nothing.
Jacobs is gonna get less than he made for fucking Quillen. That doesn't make any sense.
No, he's gonna get less than he made for Sergio Mora. So like,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so like that's
more?
where the 60-40
because he's fighting a difficult fight.
No, because the fight's worth like
because
$6,
both of them are big names.
Right now.
That's why. Because they're both big names, and when you have two big names, you get a big purse. It's 1 + 1 = 2.
Because the Gate versus Lemieux and Triple G only made like $2.2 million. A Gate with Jacobs can make over $3.5 million. So that's just $3.5 million right there. Then if HBO gives the $5 million they do, that's $8.5 million.
Dude.
So,
honestly,
you're saying Danny Jacobs should only get $1.5 million of an $8 million split?
Look, whatever that would be. But let's be real. If it's the other way around, and Heyman wins the bid, and Triple G pulls out of it fight.
But if Heyman wins the bid, and Triple G is going to get 75% of the money, why would he pull out? It doesn't matter who wins the bid. Whoever wins the bid doesn't get 75% of the money. So I don't understand what your point is.
Why shouldn't the champion get 75% of the money?
Okay.
It's not about Triple G. It's about all things. Why shouldn't the champion get 75% of the money?
All right.
It's a reasonable argument.
Okay.
And then if Heyman won the money, if Heyman was to win the bid and Triple G pulled out, can you imagine the backlash?
Yeah, and
So
it would be. But I already said before the purse bid, it would be unreasonable if he has an exclusive contract. Why he would back out? I'm just saying, Danny Jacobs could afford for $3 million, and the offer wasn't anywhere near $3 million, so the offer's not. He's not going to fight him probably. So it'll probably go to purse bid, and the fight probably won't happen. And that's how we end up with Broner versus Burns.
If it was anyone else, like honestly, man, we shit on people for pulling out of fights on purse bids. We fucking shit on them.
Did anybody shit on? Did we shit on Kovalev for that?
Oh, we did. We said it was a duck.
He didn't really get buried for it.
I said it was a duck.
Kathy Jumbo got shit on it.
Kevin's not even necessarily speaking about us here. He's talking about just fandom at large.
Yeah. Don't give a shit about fandom at large. Talking about us here, we said a duck is a duck about that Kovalev thing. And the fucking shoe fits for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. If we're saying that we're boxing fans, that
was also a different purse bid too. That was a 60-40 purse bid. And then Danny Jacobs said, if you're going to do 60-40, I'll do 60-40.
Who sets the purse bid rules?
The fucking crooked-ass sanctioning bodies.
Well, so, yeah, exactly.
so it don't matter. Each sanctioning body is different.
They each have a different split, funny enough.
Yeah,
exactly. But so all I'm saying is we can use all these things to say it's Triple G's fault for not doing the negotiating. And I'm fine to say that they might not be paying enough money.
You can say it's anybody's fault you want. At the end of the day, both guys are gonna go back to fighting. Both guys are gonna go back to fighting bums and making the same money. Both guys are gonna go back to fighting bums and making the same money. That's all. Triple G is gonna fight Highland and make. Triple G is going to have to fight Highland and make his $2 million, and Danny Jacobs will fight any other bum and make his 1.5 or 1.2, and it's back to business.
But all I'm saying here,
it's boxing in the middleweight division.
Kev,
you can call it a duck all you want.
Kev,
yeah, we say a duck is a duck here, and that's what it'll be.
All right.
I don't think $3 million is I don't think $3 million is unreasonable.
Okay. We're going around in circles.
The rules, man.
We're going around in circles. Kev, just a quick question: if that's the case and the fight doesn't happen and they go separate ways, do you think, especially with the Heyman situation at the moment, can you see not only Jacob's purses, but a lot of fighters' purses decreasing, where they're going to be taking a lot less money in future fights? Like they're going to start after be settling for 500,000, etc.
Yeah. That's already started to happen. People at the end of in recent fights, like I told you, I know of one person that got 25% less than he thought he was going to be making at the start of camp. And then near as the fight was coming up, he was basically told, "Yo, say that say the number was 500 grand, whatever, one time. Say, you're going to get 500. He ended up getting like 375.
Because this £2 million that they offered Danny Jacobs might be the last time he ever sees $2 million.
That was my point. No, listen, that's the point.
Heyman has his couple guys that he's going to take care of.
Okay, let me make my point because I see both of your points. I see Jacobs is going to fight the hardest fight of his career. Then if you've made 1 million, 2 million, whatever it was to fight Moro, to fight to fight Quillen, you're going to want a lot more of that to fight Triple G. That makes sense. But on the other hand, you have to see it in the perspective of, well, boxing at the moment, especially with Heyman, it is drying up a bit. And what we've said in the past, if Jacobs fights Triple G and does what Brook does and puts in an effort and, come out even losing as looking good, then that can only help his career in the future. So on that side of the fence, I think, for Jacobs...
Brook ended up with a broken orbital bone.
Well,
might not be fighting for the rest of his life.
There's no safe haven for Jacobs the way there is for Brook. He can't just move down away and be like, oh, well, I was too small.
That's true, but I think... Sorry, go on.
But all I'm saying, like you said, it's drying up. But you got to say, is this fight worth as much? How much is this fight worth? And then you look at the total pot. How much is coming from HBO? How much is coming from the live gate? And you look at a number like $3 million, and it's feasible. And it's like, all right, we could do that, but they obviously feel otherwise. And basically, from the thing is, it seemed like from the negotiation from the start, since this is not a 60-40 purse bid, it's a 75-25, that at the start of negotiations that K2 didn't even want to listen to anything. They were just waiting this out so they could go to purse bid because they knew at purse bid Jacobs was just going to walk away.
Because let's be honest, right? He knew it was a 25. Everyone knows it's. Well, I'm
yes, which is why he tried negotiating the fight beforehand.
But he's been running around their belt using it for ages. So just play by the
drop the belt.
So he drops the belt. So he's used the belt now for what he used it for. Comes to a hard fight. He knows the rules. Doesn't like the rules. Drops.
But the rules are a purse bid is there if a deal can't be made. So a deal being made in good faith, like Jacob's team came in good faith to the negotiating table, and felt like they weren't demanding $5 million to make a fight. If they were demanding $5 million, then you're like, oh, he had no intentions to make a fight. When they come and they basically say $3 million could get it done, and a fight that's basically generating $9 million, then why can't the split be $6 million, $3 million? Like, I don't understand. That's basically what they're saying, and I guess they're not interested in that. I guess they'd rather just go ahead paying guys like Willie Monroe a couple $100,000 as opposed to paying somebody else money. Because you got to understand, like that Brook fight, they didn't pay no money. They went over. They were the B side of that whole thing. They were going over there getting paid.
Right, let's move on.
I hope he never sees $2 million again, man. If this is going to be the shit that fucking gets pulled, man. This goes for all fighters. It's not about the Triple G thing. It happens to be this thing, but that is some bullshit.
All right, let's move on. Nothing else from me. You guys got anything you want to talk about, or should we just?
Well, to answer a question that Shams 100 was asking me in the, or is it 1,000? My bad. Shams 1,000 was asking me in the chat. Yeah, as far as I know, Luis Concepcion versus Cal Yafai is on for November 26th in the UK. That's a really great fight.
What weight class is that?
What card is that?
Super flyweight, same as Gonzalez and Inoue.
No, but what card?
That'll be with Joshua, I think.
See, I think that November card in Manchester is going to get scrapped. Just the way Hearn was saying, we might move it to London and stuff like that. I just don't, because there's not even tickets on sale for it, and obviously Josh doesn't have an opponent, so it's quite weird that.
And this fight's supposed to be in November?
Yeah, I think
November 26th.
I think that will get moved to London now.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of where it happens, I mean, as long as the date is still there. Even if they have to move it around a little bit, I'm sure that fight will still be on. But, I mean, that's a great fight, though. Two top 10 guys. Concepcion, I'd say, is probably like top 5, French top 5. He's a champion and everything.
I like that
those
fight.
Those fighters are great for promoters. They're cheap support, and they come cheap, and they always fight and put on good shows. Relatively cheap, you know what I mean?
That's a good fight, too, because That's a good fight too, because it's two punchers, so you'll probably see a knockout in that fight between those two.
Anything else, Leon? You got anything?
I guess, I mean, I'm not a boxing historian, or I know I've watched some old fights, but I don't know a lot of details. But the passing of Aaron Pryor it's a sad day, because that man was a beast.
Especially at his ages, though, as well, 60 years old.
He would have taken $2 million.
Did he have a heart issue?
Heart disease.
I know I know he loved his cocaine back in the 80s.
Yeah, well, then that's exactly the type of thing that'll give you a heart condition, because of the fact. If you ever look at a lot of the celebrities that were doing a lot of coke back in the 80s, most of them are not here anymore because of that specifically. So it wouldn't surprise me, but
both him and Arguello are both dead now. Both had the fucking
what a fight!
Two sick fights,
yeah.
Those fights.
Two of the all-time greats right there, man. Big time. Two of the all-time great fights and two of the all-time great fighters. But Pryor was a beast, man. Pryor is probably one of my dad's favorite fighters of all time as well. And so I was privy to watching a lot of tape of him when I was a kid and everything.
Yeah, my dad's favorite actually were Hagler and Pryor. For a white German dude to come over from fucking off the boat, pretty rare. But those are the two guys that he used to tell me about. So, and they were the first guys in those super fights that actually had the VHS cassettes out at the library. So you were able to see some shit about them.
Nice.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah, no, Pryor though, I think probably one of the biggest standout moments for him though wasn't in his one of his major fights. It was a fight where he was defending his title, his super lightweight title, against a guy from Japan named Akio Kameda, and it was crazy because it's Kameda dropped him in the first round. The second round, Pryor immediately comes out first of all, Kameda dropped him in the first round. Pryor didn't even wait for the ref to start counting. He got back up on his feet and he went right at Kameda, basically saying fuck the knockdown, we're fighting. The ref had to actually peel. He had to peel Pryor off of. He had to peel Pryor off of Kameda in order to give him a count.
In the YouTube highlight videos, you see that moment in all the YouTube highlight videos.
And then in the next round, in the second round, he immediately came out bolo punching, with his right hand, and he threw the bolo punch. He went from bolo punching with his right to throwing a right cross. He nailed Kameda right in the face, dropped him right on his ass, and threw his hands in the air like he just won the Super Bowl and shit. And that was just a great highlight for Pryor. I think one of the all-time great moments in boxing. You show that to any casual fan, and they'll instantly know why you love the sport.
I thought that was versus Kid Cervantes. I guess I was wrong. I don't know.
Well, he did that to a couple guys, but
I think he got dropped against Cervantes in the first round as well, didn't he? And then came back to win it. But yeah, man, shame. 60 years old, like PM versus in the chat is saying. It's young, man. 60 really, in this day and age.
Yeah, it is.
Anything
else? I'll be happy if I see 60.
Yeah, I remember saying when Arguello first died, Pryor was at all of his funeral processions and all that stuff. So even earlier this year, they had some sort of a special type of a wake thing for Arguello, because I remember Gonzalez and Mayorga were both at it, and I saw Pryor there too, and he looked like he was in fairly good health. So it was some mildly surprising, but again, it's one of those things where when you have a history of drug abuse, drug use, all that stuff, it's one of those things that could just take you at any time. 1 second you're there, and then the next, you have a heart attack and it's over.
Yep. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Right, Leon, you having problems with your mic? It's getting a bit of noise off you. Leon.
He's out there running miles, training for the Triple G in case he gets the call after Jacobs drops it.
That's that payday. Trying to get that $1 million, man.
Leon, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
He got that. He's doing that road work.
All right, he's typing something in the chat. But Naota, Kev, anything else?
Holy crap!
No, I'm good. We might as well get out of here before Leon blows us up like a Mission Impossible tape right now.
This shit will self-destruct.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, I just wanted to say, yep, Aaron Pryor was a beast. He was one of my favorites. I don't know too much about old school boxing either, but Pryor was a dude that I watched so much because his style was one that I always wanted to imitate, even though it was a poor rendition. I loved all of the angles that he utilized, and he was just a fucking fighter, man. I think he really is one of the best guys at 40. And one thing that I really marvel about him was the fact that he just dominated that division. And it's a shame that, nowadays guys can't really just freely dominate a division and people be satisfied with that. And a large part of that, obviously, is just the competition isn't as strong as it used to be back in the past. But at the same time, I also feel like we're too quick to force guys to move up or move down a lot of times. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, slow week of boxing. I know it's a shame that we don't have Envy Chu on because I'd love to hear what he has to say about Ricky Burns. I know he's about to get his ass whooped against Adrian Broner, but hey, at least he's making good money, so I'm happy for him. But that whole Jacobs Triple G situation is just a fucking mess, man. It's just, I was listening to a little bit of you guys debate about that shit, and I love you guys, but you guys sound like fucking idiots talking about that. And then I love you guys, and what you guys are saying is logically coherent. It's just the fact that you have to talk about it to get your point across when all we're supposed to do is really talk about fights. It just shows you what kind of a joke it is that we can't even get a mandatory fight to take place. Like, that's ridiculous. That pisses me off. It really, really pisses me off. Like, I hate the fact that we can't get fights that logically make sense and fights that are just there for us on a platter to be finalized. We can't even get that shit done. Yeah.
What hope is there, Dan? What hope is there?
Yeah, and now who's Jacobs going to fight for an interim fight? Or anybody? Like, I don't know. It goes both ways, man. Every single party involved is to blame, in my opinion. If you're Triple G, just fucking cough up some extra money. You're going to whip this guy's ass. Just make it an easy payday.
Yeah, they're both going to go back to fighting bums they're both going to go back to fighting bums for less money than they would have made fighting each other.
Just to your point, Dan, I could see maybe the Quillen rematch for Jacobs just because how the first one ended.
Yeah, but I don't get that.
Is Quillen even fighting?
How he's fighting at 168.
He's going to come back at one super middle.
And I don't understand, like, that fight didn't even generate good numbers.
Yeah, it bombed.
So how the fuck are they both
on fucking Showtime?
1.5? And like the biggest guy who deserves blame in all of this shit is Al Heyman. He's a motherfucker who set the precedent. So that's the end of. Like, I know that discussion has already been ended and it's complete, but he fucking ruined boxing in my opinion. So all of those guys, maybe not ruin it entirely. I'm going a little bit overboard, but he he crippled the sport. And if there's anybody left who's fucking dumb enough to think that he was a good thing for boxing, you're just a fucking idiot, man. Because he killed so many promising careers these past 2 to 3 years. It's a fucking joke.
Danny Jacobs.
Now what? Danny
Garcia.
Another Danny. Who's Danny fighting?
He's happy though. He's counting his money. He's chilling with his dad. He's got his barber shop.
Good for him.
He's fighting Molina.
Yeah, I'm so happy. That makes me so happy, Cam. Like, I love it when Danny shows off his money on Instagram. I love it. There's nothing that makes me more happy than that. Good for you, Danny. Oh, you make me so happy.
No, hopefully Molina unleashes one of those right-hand bombs on him.
Who is he fighting anyways, man?
John Molina.
He's fighting, is that set?
As far as I understand it is.
John Molina, 135?
I heard not Molina. I heard Molina's not even. I think Molina's too tough.
They can't even get a bum. They can't even get a bum in the ring with that guy. You know?
What was everybody joking around? Kermit Cintron?
Salka's getting that rematch.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just funny because Rod Salka's become like a noun, a verb, and all that shit because of Garcia.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really curious to see what they're doing over at PBC. But I just hope all of these companies just lose money. I just hope all of these different promotions and all of these networks are just left with nothing, and these guys just have to fight for fucking peanuts.
Al's gonna make mad money though when all these guys' contracts get bought out by whoever buys them out, because those contracts are all still they're there for a couple more years, and this thing's going to be over by the end of next year. So
the thing is,
he's going to walk away with mad money and cripple the sport at the same time.
The thing is, Kev, do you see people? One second, Dan. Do you see people overpaying? Like, do you see promotional companies overpaying for contracts? Because I don't see that happening.
No, but it's going to be like some type of bundle buyout where Al Heyman just takes like, yo, take all 5 of these guys, give me this.
Yeah. You know what I mean? No, like, maybe Al Heyman's working with the AIBA president, Dr. Wu Ching Kuo, whatever his name is, in order to basically hand over boxing to the AIBA league system.
It was a master plan. Dan, sorry to cut you off.
You know what? No. I cut you off with my stupid rhetoric, but I was just going to say that if people even cared about boxing remotely, like, there would be an investigation into what Al Heyman's background really is. Like, people would actually create enough of a stir to understand where this motherfucker gets his finances. But quite frankly, nobody gives a shit. So he can run rampant and do whatever the fuck he wants with other people's money. Like, I really have no idea how this guy operates anything. And I follow boxing pretty heavily, or at least I used to. You know, there's rumors that he lost roughly $500 million for a group of investors. Like, if people were really interested about that, you know, I'm sure people would search for answers.
The dude hasn't made money on a card. Think about it. He has to buy the time on the network, and then he can't sell enough tickets to make a fucking sellout. So he's basically paying. He's not. He has to pay the fighters and buy the TV time. He hasn't made money on anything.
If you ever look into a lot of these high-powered executives, a lot of the times you'll find a very common theme where they lose their investors' money, but they make themselves rich as hell.
Yeah, and they're all assholes, right? They're all dickheads. So that just leads me to the conclusion that Al Heyman is a dickhead. You know, he crippled the sport in the process. So, you know, thank you for that, Al Heyman.
Thank you, Uncle Al.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. You know, people like, I hear people saying this was a decent year for boxing because we had 2 fights that should have taken place that actually took place. You know, now that obviously Ward Kovalev and Lomachenko Walters is happening, that's 4. But so far, people are like, oh, we had 2 great fights. We had Thurman Porter, and then we had fucking Santa Cruz versus Frampton. This was not a bad year. We had 2 great fights. I'm like, what are you talking about? You should be complaining about every single fight that you don't get. You know, not just harp on the 2 that actually took place.
The bar is so low.
You just sound like fucking like a side piece of a side piece. You know, you sound like someone that doesn't get anything, you know, so you're just happy for a fucking look. You're like, oh, that girl gave me a look, so I'm happy for the rest of my life. Like, no.
What's it going to look like next year when HBO probably does even less fights next year? We used to get triple headers, now we get 1 fight. and that's rare. And now
Golden Boy's YouTube cards will be running the sport, man.
That's why Matchroom expanding, picking up international boxers.
I have no idea. Why did Matchroom sign Luis Ortiz?
We were discussing earlier. We thought maybe like a to
use him as a gatekeeper for Anthony Joshua. I think
a gatekeeper. That's a terrible idea. That's not a gatekeeper.
Well, basically to have all the tough guys that could potentially that they think might potentially beat Joshua. Oh, they're gonna have him fight Ortiz instead, and they'll keep Ortiz and Joshua completely separate until Ortiz is too old.
Dan, what's your thoughts on that signing?
I don't understand what the purpose is. He's like a heavyweight version of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Except
I wouldn't say that. I think Ortiz he's got that power.
No, I know I'm not talking about from an interest perspective in terms of his fight itself, but he doesn't generate anything for you. You know, he's a high risk, low reward type of fighter. And if you have him within your stable, I think you're making him more visible, and therefore you create a public appetite, and that they want to see those 2 fights or 2 fighters eventually get in with each other because they're obviously under the same promotion. So I don't really understand why you would do that.
Yeah, well, the reason why you would do that is because you can keep that going for a few years, like they did, like a Pacquiao versus Mayweather type deal, and have them fight separate opponents over and over again. Keep giving it out to people, teasing them with it, and then eventually you make it once Ortiz is old enough to be gotten.
Yeah, but within those fights, the public would have a stronger argument for those 2 parties to just get in the ring with each other because there's no promotional barriers.
I think he'll keep them on separate cards for a while. So there'll be a card like now. It seems like he's going to branch out more to Monte Carlo because this fight is in Monte Carlo against Malik Scott. But I think London is a base where Ortiz could fight Dillian White. He could fight Derek Chisora, and you'll get them on separate cards to AJ and slowly maybe build up the AJ fight later down the line.
Like, I would see that point if Ortiz was already a commodity, but he's not.
The thing about Hearn is, though, he sells someone so well.
I know he does, but I feel like he may be putting too much faith into Ortiz and that he could actually make him a star. And he's actually pretty good. Like, it would be more logical, and I hate to say this because I sound like, I'm promoting bad fights, or that's what I'm promoting, but you would rather have someone who's a little bit more marketable and less solid as a fighter than Ortiz, It's just weird. I didn't think that this would... Matchroom would be signing Luis Ortiz of all people, But hey, if he's gonna fight AJ, I mean, good for it. But like my previous point, I just feel like it's kind of strange because I feel like the public outcry for those two guys to actually fight each other would actually be much more powerful of a case because they're under the same promotion. Unlike Pacquiao versus Mayweather, you could always resort to the fact that they were under different umbrellas so that you couldn't get them together in the ring. Whereas in this situation, there is no such excuse.
Raphael22 in the chats made a point. Hearn wants to make big fights, though. He will get money from both sides. Hearn wants to make big fights. He doesn't care about protecting his fighters. And to that point, sometimes, we don't know ins and outs, the background stuff. Maybe AJ's contract is coming up for renewal. Maybe he said to
use him as a threat.
Yeah, exactly.
You better resign with us, otherwise we're throwing you in there with Ortiz.
No, all jokes aside, sometimes, especially like heavyweight big names, after a while they can just make their own promotions and do it all themselves. Why give a promoter their extra cut? So maybe AJ is planning to leave, and he's thinking, well, I'll put you in with Vlad, or I'll put you in with Ortiz before you go. That type of shit. You never know, really.
Yeah. Well, it's like the whole thing with, it's like, Walter's Lomachenko's Walter's last fight with Top Rank. So, I mean, you know what they're trying to do there.
Yep.
Ooh, conspiracy.
Should play that X-Files music.
What was that guy's name? Jab 77?
Jab 77, yeah.
What happened to that guy?
No, I think I still see him on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, it's a peculiar situation. What about Joshua Vladimir? That's confirmed, right? That's all set?
No, not
I just
yet.
got my ticket, my plane ticket.
Don't
happening?
Don't book the tickets yet, Dan. Don't book them yet.
I already booked it, dude.
Oh, just come and visit me then.
Okay, all right, baby.
No, I did.
But
we
yeah, go ahead.
Discussing it earlier. Hearn saying it's like 80% done. There's just a few sticking points, but I think he's just dragging us along. I don't think it's going to actually happen yet. I could see it happening maybe early next year, but not in November, December.
Okay. Cool. And what are the fights this upcoming weekend?
Tony Bellew versus BJ Flores, highlight of the weekend, or low light, whichever way you want to see it.
Where's that fight taking place?
Liverpool.
Oof. All right. Are you gonna go, Cam?
Hell no.
Any news stories?
No, that's
Anything
about it.
Popping?
It's just that card in Monte Carlo that kind of was the big news, and George Groves fighting some dude, bringing him down from 175 to 168. That's about it. Been a bit quiet in the boxing landscape.
Cool, man. Yeah. Well, nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it.
We might be able to go bi-weekly with the show.
I was going to say, it's like once a month.
Oh, shit.
It's mainly October. This is just October is a little bit the slow month right now. Once November gets into it, we're going to have fights pretty much every week.
November, we'll have to like 2 shows a week. We'll have to go Boxing Voice style.
Yeah, going to...
and then we can announce Klitschko for Joshua?
Yeah.
Going.
Hey, come on, dude. That was an honest mistake. That was an honest mistake.
So that was a subliminal shot you just threw before, Lim?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
but anyway,
November.
special shout out to the boxing boys. For any of you guys who are going to the Ward Kovalev fight, make sure you keep an ear out. Second TBV Appreciation Night. If you want to meet yours truly, the greatest mind in boxing and the pugilistic practice, you can purchase a one-on-one
Casual
5
fan?
minute. Hold
Casual
up, a
fan's
5
gonna be
minute,
there?
myself. A 5 minute sit down with myself. That's $50. You can bring a T-shirt. I'll sign it. Whatever you want, I'll sign it for you. But you got to sign up in advance because the slots, the tickets are really going really fast. So just go to my website and then sign up, and it'll be a pleasure to meet you.
Dude, it seems like this Ward Kovalev fight's taking fucking forever. I've been thinking about it. It's like, what the fuck? Is this thing going to come yet? And then it's going to come and be a stinker. It's going to be the fucking biggest letdown.
It's going to be a good, I don't know. I can't wait for it, honestly.
Me neither. I can't wait either.
Happy.
But it's like, I keep looking at the calendar. Like, damn, it's really this far away still?
Yeah. What is it, a month and 9 days?
Yeah.
I don't know. From my sources, I'm hearing that Kovalev is looking like a beast, man.
Looking like a monster?
Yeah.
You didn't hear he got dropped in sparring from Abel?
Yeah, that's what my sources tell me, though. So, I don't know. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah. All right, well, that's all I got, Cam. I'm just bullshitting, just trying to buy some time, but I don't know what else to talk about.
Buy some time, like Al Heyman on some channels.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Dan. Naota, Kev, anything else?
Well, I do know that the New Year's cards for Japan are looking like they're going to be pretty solid once again. Looks like Jonathan Guzman's going back over there to fight Yukinori Oguni. You got Corrales Uchiyama too, and then Moises Fuentes versus Kosei Tanaka for the vacant WBO light flyweight title, I think that's a great fight between those two. That's two big punchers right there. It's like that's potential fight of the year type stuff. Although I think that Fuentes is going to wash Tanaka early. Because I think that power that he carries early is serious. He's the one that I've shown you guys a bunch of times that like he washed a couple guys in the first round that took the likes of like Zhou Shiming and a couple other champions full 12. So he's pretty nasty with it. But I'm definitely looking forward to those cards, especially if Inoue gets on one of those against Estrada or against anybody else really. But I think they're gonna follow up with another solid year. That's it.
Are you going to be fighting on that card?
Possibly, as long as the money's right. If they give me that $275K that Gonzalez turned down.
How's that weight cut coming?
It's I'm getting there. I got
some vitamins for him. I got some pills that can help him out.
Yeah, I'll phone up Ray Beltran. Supposedly he knows where to get the good shit.
That ain't a problem.
All right.
If your fight goes to Purse Bid, I'll put up $5.
Nice.
I'll match.
Solid, Lil.
You're splitting 10.
That's what's up. It's on.
All right. Thank you guys for jumping on the show. Also, thanks to Hamada and Leon. Thanks to all the people in the chat and all the people.
Yo, fuck Leon. Tell him if he agrees with me, doesn't agree with me next time, he's done.
Thanks to all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking want plastic on.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burning you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great.
Do we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want one portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.